You are now listening to the J Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay.
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another edition of the J Porks Experience. I'm Jay Porks. With me helping out on the other side of the glass, as usual, is nobody. It's November. It's not November yet. It's almost November. It feels like November outside here in New York City. I am freezing my ass off, and I have been all day. But before it starts snowing, before you hear Christmas chimes and Christmas jingles, and before you start carving turkey for Thanksgiving, you have Halloween. Halloween, you dress up. Who doesn't love Halloween? I used to hate holidays. I usually hate all holidays. I just hate made-up holidays like for getting drunk, like Thanksgiving Eve, and Christmas Eve. What are you guys doing on Thanksgiving Eve? I didn't know Thanksgiving had an Eve. But a lot of people tell me, oh, it always did. Yeah, well, I think you people are alcoholics. I get smashed every night. I don't need to make it a holiday. But anyway, I digress for a second. Before I jump into bullshitting with you for another couple of minutes, let's go over the websites I need you to go to and help me out here. So you go to concertconfessions.com for all your live music news and reviews for fans by fans. Right now on the scroll is Avenged Sevenfold with Deftones and Ghost in their recent stop in Oklahoma, with some awesome photos and a few words from our man Stephen Anthony, and you can get him at Stephen Anthony on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. And you go to concertconfessions.com for all your live music news and reviews for fans by fans. You also go to antiquiet.com for all your music news. You know, that's not relegated to things that I like. You go to ChristinaRocks.com. She's got the Time Warp on 89X on the weekends in the morning. Cool stuff. You go to TheMeatPuppets.com. You buy stuff from there. You buy Rat Farm. You go to TheAndyDeerShow.com. And you check out Tyler Cale's show. You check out my show. You check out Andy's show. You click those Amazon ads and you buy things. And you get me on Twitter at JPorks. And I encourage you to tweet things at me, because sometimes I have nothing to tweet about, and I need to reply to people. So if you're listening this week, and you're a fan of Pearl Jam, thank you. I am glad that you came back. You understand that I hate some music sometimes, and there are things I need to get off my chest. But I'm glad you understood, and I'm glad you accepted it and came back and tuned in again. That's for you, Harvey Wetnuts. I got you. At Bring Out the Rum. Blasphemy. He didn't like it. It's okay. I like when people don't like my stuff. It means I'm getting a reaction. I feel like Mike Francesa and Chris Russo. Like, if people don't hate you, then they don't know you. That's how it is. Halloween. You know, I never thought. I used to hate dressing up as a teenager. I just wanted to get the candy and get high with my friends and eat it. But in the recent years, when you go to work and you have to wear a monkey suit and serve food with your hair tied up really tight, when Halloween comes around, you start thinking, I can't wait to bust out that Slash costume. Get to wear the hair down one day. One day at work, I get to escape the stupid uniform, and I love it. And I've seen a show on Halloween. I saw Ween on Halloween. First of all, I can't believe I've done 8 episodes of this podcast and I haven't mentioned Ween. And I'm sorry for that, because that is a travesty. Ween, I still miss them. I can't believe they broke up. That Halloween show in 2011, I believe it was 2011. You can check for me on ConcertConfessions.com. You go there and you look up the review, because I got videos and I got words and I got stories. So yeah, I think that was their second to last show. They played a show in Colorado, I believe. But we didn't know. None of us knew. We got our minds blown at Hammerstein Ballroom. You could imagine going into Manhattan on Halloween. For people not from here, I mean, even for me, going into Manhattan is weird. Always, you're always gonna find some characters, but to see the costumes going on in the city, because what I love and I really do adore this, and I am grateful that this exists. I like the evolution of the girls' costumes on Halloween that have gone from traditional costumes to now just plain slutty anything. It could be anything. Just insert slutty in front of it. Slutty cat, slutty librarian, slutty cop. How many cops wear shorts like you see these girls wearing? You know? But I'm heading to the Ween concert. This was 2011. I'm heading to the Ween concert at Hammerstein Ballroom, hanging up Meat Puppets lollipop posters. I had 100 of them in my book bag, and I was just hanging them up all over the city as my Nook makes a noise because I got an email. And I was just hanging them up all over the city, and I got to Hammerstein, and everybody in the line had a different song. They were all dressed up, you know. There was this one girl I was talking to dressed as Waldo, Where's Waldo? But everyone thought she was Harry Potter, and she was at the point when I got there, she was just screaming, I'm not Harry Potter! And there was this group of 5 people at the Ween concert. 4 of them were dressed up as bananas, and one of them was a gigantic bag of cocaine, like to be the song Bananas and Blow, which is brilliant, and they played it. I mean, that was amazing. I mean, I remember I was in the mezzanine. I was upstairs. I was in seats. But these aren't like they're not movie theater style seats. They're not attached to the floor. So during the first 2 songs, everyone is just taking the seats, lifting them up, and stacking chairs in the aisle. So the prisoners have taken over the asylum, and I mean, that's just basically what it was. Everyone's lighting up cigarettes and weed and whatever they're doing, screaming out their favorite songs. This one kid was screaming for them to play Put That Coke on My Dick. And then he turns to his friend and says, that's my mom's favorite song. She always calls me during the show to see if they played it. It's gross. And I was like, that's really weird. So Ween on Halloween. That's the only Halloween show I've ever seen. It was Halloween. So yeah, I just felt I needed to throw that in there because I haven't spoken about Ween, and I miss Ween. And Dean Ween is doing Moist Boys right now. Jesus, why is that so hard to say? The Moist Boys. And they're going to play John and Peters in New Hope, Pennsylvania, where I was actually in the same room with Dean Ween back in April when I went there to see the Meat Puppets. The Meat Puppets, I'm in a room, I'm standing with Shannon Som and Elmo Kirkwood, and sitting 5 feet from me, having dinner, discussing Trout, is Kurt Kirkwood, Chris Kirkwood, and Mickey Menelclado, a.k.a. Dean Ween. It was so surreal. I was hoping he would jam with them, but he didn't. But he did stay for the duration of the show and passed me by several times. I did touch Dean Ween. It happened. And it was just amazing. That was an amazing night. But so, the Moist Boys. The Moist Boys. Is it supposed to be hard to say? I should have rehearsed it before I came on. Speaking of Halloween. Fish. Fish with the PH. The Fish from Vermont. They cover an album every Halloween in Atlantic City. Whenever they play Atlantic City on Halloween, they cover an album. I was tweeting at the Funyun. Yes, that's right, the Funyun. I was tweeting at them to the Fish should play Meat Puppets 2 in its entirety, front to back, and dress up in costume and do that. Because when I saw Ween on Halloween, they were dressed up as little sailors. But I'm going to find out the leaders in the clubhouse right now, according to some of these Fish fan sites. Here's the thing, when Fish plays a show, they take over the internet until that show is over. I've seen Fish once during their New Year's run, 2010. I thought it was really cool. I do not hate that band. A lot of people hate that band. I don't see why. They're good musicians and they play good music and they jam. If you don't like to jam, then okay, you don't like jam music. But I mean, when these guys are speaking a different language, the geekery that goes on, where they say, "Oh, this is the first time this song was played in the second set in this part of the country since 2009." I mean, it's just crazy. And a lot of these a lot of good music websites, Jambase.com, Hidden Track, Glide Magazine, um, LiveMusicBlog.com. A lot of these bands, like when Fish starts playing, they cover it. They give you the set list, the skinny, the stats. The skinny is, I think, the sum up of the set. All the jams, what they teased, everything. I mean, there's several websites with Fish stats on the internet, and I follow the Funyun. It's like pronounced like the onion, but the Funyun, Phu, spelled like that, Phunion. And they're a music website. The Funyun.com is just to make fun of Fish. Like, they're such big fans that they're poking fun. I've had several Fish fans tell me, "Listen, I'm not making fun of the band. I expect more. Like, when they feel let down, that I expected more from such a great band." And if you go to like any of these Bible websites, Christian, I don't know, Bible, I can't think of the Fish from Vermont are coming to ruin your town. Here's the thing: Fish doesn't bring the drugs with them. I think those guys are sober now. The people in the audience, the wooks, some of them are wooks. People who have no ambition besides to just go to Fish shows for free. You know, you could pass by any Fish show and people will be outside holding up one finger, looking for a ticket. They're not selling; they're looking. And just so great. I mean, so the Funyun is just so fun. I tweet at them all the time. Well, you should do the meat puppets. Fish takes over the internet. They do. My Twitter feed is wrecked when Fish plays the show. And it's either livefish.com will stream the show at a rate, they'll charge you for it. But if not, most likely there's somebody in the audience with a stream going. I think there's somebody in the audience. They don't work for the band. And you can usually get that on Ustream or one of those websites that has live streams happening. And it's amazing that, I mean, I have a hard enough time taking video and uploading it to YouTube, let alone being able to live stream video from a concert onto the internet in real time. And not only that, but to then go on Twitter and get mad that they're playing Possum. Okay, I found a list of the leaders in the clubhouse on albums that Fish might play, and I'm just giving it a. It's written by Ben Greenfield. I don't know who that is. I don't know what website he writes for. I got it from the Facebook page of Northwest Fish fans. Want some love. The band music from Big Pink, Rock of Ages, Basement Tapes. They're gonna play. There's Bruce, Cream, Disraeli Gears is on there. Bowie is on there. Ziggy Stardust or Hunky Dory. Derek and the Dominoes, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, Jimi Hendrix, All You Expect, all three of Hendrix's albums, The Police, any studio album, Santana. A lot of fans are saying that it's going to be The Police. That's what I've heard. Somebody wanted Michael Jackson. I saw that being tweeted. I see in the long shots category is a couple I like. Jane's Addiction, Nothing Shocking, or Ritual de Habitual. Metallica, Master of Puppets is in the long shots category, along with Michael Jackson's Thriller. Nirvana, either Nevermind or In Utero. Prince, Purple Rain is in there. Ween, Chocolate and Cheese. Again, Ween. Ween is awesome. Fish is pretty good too. So there's that. So, I mean, follow the Funyun. Just for laughs. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, I think I'm sarcastic. I've never even touched sarcasm that these people exhibit. So there's that. And there's also, going kind of fast because I'm cold here. Let's get some Twitter shout outs. You go follow. You should go follow at Annie Quiet. Go follow the Deer Network, DERER Network on Twitter. Follow Andy Deer at Andy Deer Show or Andy at Andy Deer for his personal account if you want to be his friend. I think you should all be his friend. Go follow the Slurry Baron. He's out in Idaho and I slept in his house that time I went to Washington to the Gorge to see Soundgarden, Queens of the Stone Age, Mastodon, and the Meat Puppets, and then we saw Willie Nelson the next day. We will get into that on another podcast. But he housed me, and he wasn't a dick like the natural stoner who wouldn't let me smoke a cigarette in his fucking car on a fucking 2-hour drive home from the airport. Dude, the window's open. I just saw that the World Health Organization says that the air and the regular air you breathe is just as toxic as secondhand smoke. So smoke up, I guess. I read that more as a humor. I didn't see any studies. I'm not taking that seriously, but that's actually really funny. So follow the Slurry Baron, who's hoping that my whole wheat bagel disappeared again, which it didn't. The other day I bought a whole wheat bagel. I brought it home, and I live with 3 other people, none of which are on diets. Me, eating healthy, lost 109 pounds. Someone eats my whole wheat bagel. We got a house full of shit that tastes like that's fucking bad for you. You really ate my whole wheat bagel? It disappeared. So then I walked to the store, I bought another one, and then Slurry Baron tweeted at me, I secretly hope J Porks' bagel disappears, which it didn't. Unfortunately, because it was terrible. Now I know why I don't have bagels anymore. Because if you can't have a regular bagel, there's no point. First of all, I live on Staten Island. Unless I get on a bus and go to Brooklyn, I'm not getting a good bagel. Just like I'm probably not getting good pizza. Unless you go to the place I work, of course. Which I won't tell you. I mean, listen, man. Halloween. I mean, it's the perfect time of year. The foliage is falling. Don't you love the foliage? If you look out the window and you see the leaves turning brown, and that makes your heart warm, book your stay in a nursing home because you're an old fuck. The foliage is so pretty. I didn't even know foliage was a non-sexual word until you explained that to me. It sounds like, some move you do after a 69 or something. Well, what's foliage? What? I don't know. So the leaves are falling. It's getting cold, and it's like you wear a hoodie, but it's too cold for the hoodie in the morning, and it's too hot for it in the afternoon. Hashtag, but I ride the bus, though. I really wish I could go to Atlantic City see Fish on Halloween. That would be neat. But I don't have $1 million. If you go to StubHub and you look up how much Fish tickets are for anywhere, they're like $1,000 because people buy them and they resell them. But not the fans. The scalpers. Like, that scalpers market is crazy. All the time I go to Ticketmaster and I try to buy tickets, and they always sell out in like 2.5 minutes, some of these shows. I missed out on a Queens of the Stone Age pre-sale a couple of years ago. I was so pissed. Actually, that's why I went to Washington to see Queens of the Stone Age. Well, that's not why, but when I saw Queens of the Stone Age on the bill at the Gorge that I wanted to see, it didn't hurt that I missed out earlier that March on Queens of the Stone Age tickets because they sold out so quickly, and then were quickly on StubHub for double and triple the price. I don't mind shows selling out fast. I would think that I like an artist that many people like, but it's people who buy tickets just to intentionally resell them and have no interest in the music. That shit pisses me off. Also, I know I pause a lot, and I'm sorry. I take a minute to gather my thoughts. And those thoughts, some of you are saying, you gather those stupid thoughts. I'm gonna have a buying or not buying segment. New albums that come out, new releases. I'm gonna let you know if I'm buying them or if I'm not buying them. I've got 4 here. Now, Cage the Elephant. Cage the Elephant's new record. You need to buy it. It is fucking intense. It's Modest Mouse influence. Mellophobia. That's the name of the album. And you could stream it now at a bunch of websites. Probably Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone will have it. Fuse TV has an interview. Antiquiet. Go to antiquiet.com. As of October 1st, you could have streamed it. JB Scott wrote that. That's actually really good. Wow. I should really check out the website I work for more often. Yeah, go to antiquiet.com, stream the new KG Elephant, and then buy it, because J Porks is cha-ching buying it. I'll get sound effects eventually. Obviously, not buying Pearl Jam Lightning Bolt. But if you are buying it, I hope you liked them on Fallon all week. Well, they were on Fallon for 2 days, and guys were covering their songs for the other couple of days. That's what it was. Not that I watch Fallon, but come on. Arctic Monkeys, AM, that album is sick. You could stream that on Antiquiet too, and you can actually, the singles all over the place. Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High? Here's the thing about Cage the Elephant and Arctic Monkeys. I saw them both in 2012 at Orion Music and More in Atlantic City, the Metallica curated festival. That this year it was in Detroit, but that year it was in Atlantic City at Bader Field. And I mean, Cage the Elephant, Arctic Monkeys, Ghost, Fucked Up, Gary Clark Jr. These are all bands that I saw in 2012. Now, I mean, Arctic Monkeys, Cage the Elephant, both these albums are pure perfection. And nobody knew. I mean, we knew they were cool bands. They were big bands. They were awesome bands. But they could headline festivals like that. Now, those guys were playing in the daylight. Well, Arctic Monkeys, the sun was going down behind them. But yeah, they were playing in the daylight. I also saw Eric Church. You know how funny that is? That guy had fire behind him. He had pyrotechnics. He was like, I'm having some Jack. This is a song I wrote about whiskey. Alright, bro, sing it. I'm down. I remember for Eric Church, I was like sitting. I just wanted to sit down. And I'm listening. I'm like, this guy sounds like country music. Metallica booked this guy? Turn around, this guy is country music. I talked to that 15-year-old girl, Taylor, I work with, and she tells me that she loves country music. She loves Eric Church. Eric Church. I've seen that guy. I saw Modest Mouse at Orion also. Rocky Erickson I saw. A Place to Bury Strangers. That was a really good weekend. I wish I would have been able to put together a better review of it. Unfortunately, I chose to be timely and write it on my iPod and post it from a shit hotel with no Wi-Fi. Hardly any Wi-Fi. I had to go in the hallway to do things with my computer. And some girl tweeted at me. Tweeted at Concert Confessions. Which is even worse. I mean, listen, if I write something that sucks, don't tell my boss. Just tell me. Tell me and I'll fix it. Just like at work, if I bring you the wrong sandwich, tell me and I will fix it. Or I'll give you a free cappuccino or something. Don't go telling my boss and get me in trouble. So they tweeted Concert Confessions, thanks for the worst review I have ever read in my life. Meanwhile, I put recap. I didn't put review. I didn't say that this is an in-depth review. Now, I'm not excusing my poor literary skills. I'm not excusing me rushing it and making a fool out of myself, giving every band one paragraph and not really saying anything. Like, I wish I had the podcast then. Because I would have just sat up all night recording podcasts. I would have been on Ustream. I would have did it live. I don't care. Do it live! Was that Bill O'Reilly? The Factor? We're going to start playing that soundbite. Again, I need to get a tech board. And I need to have all these sound bites. I need the toilet flushing. I need all that stuff. The cha-ching for buying or not buying. Which, by the way, I have one more thing I'm not buying. One more record I'm not going to buy. And that will be the reissue, or the deluxe edition, excuse me. The deluxe edition of Daft Punk's Random Access Memories. Going for a modest $275. No, I think I'd rather go get high. $275. Do you know what I could do with $275 in reality? In real life, all kidding aside, if I had $275 right now, I'd borrow 50 more. I'd go on Expedia. I'd book a flight to Los Angeles, and I would never come back. That is a fact. Because I have a dead-end job here, I can have a dead-end job there. As long as I take my computer, I can still do the podcast. You'll still be hearing from me. Don't worry, J-Porks isn't going anywhere. Even if my version of the Honeycomb Hideout changes, I will always be here weekly, bitching to you about my shit life and talking about the music that I like. So again, I'm buying Cage the Elephant, Metaphobia. I'm buying Arctic Monkeys AM. I am not buying Pearl Jam Lightning Bolt. And I'm not buying Daft Punk's Deluxe Edition. I'm not buying the Deluxe Edition of Daft Punk's Random Access Memories. I'm not buying the regular edition of Random Access Memories. I'm not listening to the remixes of Random Access Memories. I don't even want to hear 1 second of that record. I've already heard too much of it. I don't care that they wear helmets. Why are they wearing helmets? Are they in Tron? Maybe it's a Tron thing. I'm not that nerdy. Since nerd has become cool, I'm not that anymore. No, geek is cool now. But like the cool geek is not the geek who got made fun of. Now geek just means, like, I can quote Seinfeld, so I can call myself a Seinfeld nerd. I'm a Seinfeld nerd. No, I'm not. I'm just a guy who knows a lot about it. A lot of people know a lot about a lot of things. Buying, not buying. $275 for the deluxe edition. Edition. What are they putting on there? They didn't even. The Rolling Stone article didn't even say what they're putting on there. I actually tweeted, "Who needs a house or nice things when you could just buy this?" Are you kidding? And for those, I know this is gonna happen. Excuse me. I was talking about slutty Halloween costumes earlier. I'm bouncing back and forth, but it's all about Halloween. It's all the same thing. I was talking about slutty Halloween costumes, and people say that you're such a pig for talking like that and thinking like that and objectifying women. I'm Jay Porks. So yeah, I am a pig. In all actuality, I don't look at women that way. I just really like hot costumes. It delights me. I just like, and some of these girls don't even, they're just dressing up as hookers and chambermaids. They don't even care. Imagine you're a guy, you're a creep, looking for some prostitute, after work, and you don't realize it's Halloween because you're an adult and you don't eat candy anymore. And you're cruising the back streets of Midtown. I don't know where you find prostitutes anymore because 42nd Street is Disney World now, as Mark Maron said in his New York bit. So you can't find a prostitute anymore. But if you were like, say you saw one of these girls dressed up as a hooker, dressed up as a chambermaid, you'd be like, "Hey, come over. We want to have a good time. How much?" Girls looking at you like you're fucking crazy. You can't even be a creep anymore. You can't even be a creep anymore. Where do you even get prostitutes? I guess the internet. I guess Craigslist, right? I don't really know. When I was a kid, I always thought I would grow up. I mean, this sounds really creepy. I always thought I would grow up and be a guy who pays for sex. I don't know why. I just always thought that would happen. And now, as an adult, I realize I wouldn't even be able to do that if I had money. Say I had $275 Say I didn't buy Daft Punk's album, and I wanted to buy a prostitute. I don't even know how to go about where I would get a prostitute. I feel like that would be too much pressure for me. I feel like I wouldn't be able to perform if I paid for it. Like betting on football. Like, even if I bet on the Jets, I still feel uncomfortable when they don't cover. And I get mad that they're scoring more points or that they are covering. Stuff like that. That's why I don't bet on football. That's why I don't pay for sex. Because I can't handle pressure. That's why I don't work at nights. That's why I work the lunch shift. Because lunch people, they got to get back to work in 40 minutes. Dinner people are there with their family, and you fucked up their dinner, and they are pissed at you. They're going to make sure that you know it. People who go out to dinner at where I work are the type of people who, when you fuck up their order, ask you how hard is your job. Now imagine that. Imagine asking somebody how hard is your job. Wow. So there's that. You know what sucks? I don't have any concert tickets purchased right now. I am always, I think for like 2-3 years straight, I've always had a ticket purchased to a show. Speaking of tickets, I got my Violent Femmes refund a couple of weeks ago. You know that. They announced the venue they're going to play the makeup show in November. Or is it December? It doesn't matter because it's at Roseland Ballroom and I am not going. Because Roseland Ballroom is a fucking dump. And all the New York-based websites that like My Socialist and New York My Free Concert and stuff like that, they tweet about contests and shit, and they help these venues, and Bowery Presents the Live Nation give away tickets sometimes. And there's like this mourning going on for Roseland Ballroom. They're closing Roseland Ballroom. It's a fucking dump. Who cares if they're closing it? Do you realize if you're not standing in the first row of Roseland Ballroom, your spot sucks? There are no seats there. I saw them crooked vultures there. I was standing in so far back. I was a football field away from John Paul Jones, Josh Homme, and Dave Grohl, and Elaine Johannes. Whoever thought I'd be at a part of my life where I could pronounce that guy's name? But I did. Anyway, that place's a dump. I saw Sublime with Rome there. In comes the hate mail. I saw Sublime with Rome there, and we were on the side of the stage because we wanted to get close. And it was terrible there, too. I got videos on YouTube. If you go back far enough on my page, it's my old. That's like 2 cameras ago. It's terrible. I just want you to click on the video for proof to see what I'm talking about. We were by the Rose Bowl. But Roseland Ballroom's a dump. And let me ask you a question. What do you think's going to go in that area? I mean, I haven't read any construction plans, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be another venue. Roseland Ballroom. Nirvana played there in like 93. Roseland Ballroom. What a dump. It's a fucking dump. Listen, and this is coming from a guy who goes to shows. Don't listen to the people who get comped into shows by the venue to write good about the venue. Don't listen to people who assist in giving away tickets to shows at said venue. Listen to the guy who goes to the venue, who pays for tickets. That venue is a dump. Close it down. I got a match for you. I should start another segment called Burn It to the Ground about all these venues I hate. Webster Hall, burn it to the ground. Actually, they make money. They make money not on rock concerts, so I can't actually say that, but Hammerstein, goodbye. Burn it to the ground. What a fucking dump. Really, it's 2013. I live in the quote unquote the greatest city in the world, and I got all these dumpy venues. I have the most fun at venues that are like bars with stages, like the Mercury Lounge. The Bowery Ballroom's a good place too to see a show, Because the Bowery Ballrooms, that's what they're about. They're the Bowery Ballroom. They're about shows and going to fucking Katz's Deli afterwards. The only big venue I like in the city, I think, is Terminal 5. Which everybody hates. Not everybody. I haven't actually spoken to every person who's ever attended their show at Terminal 5. But I read tweets about how people hate Terminal 5. Even people commenting on the Roseland Ballroom story saying, I wish it was Terminal 5. Are you fucking serious? Terminal 5's a great fucking venue. They've got tons of spots. You can see the stage always. The sound is good. If you don't think the sound is good, I mean, like, it's not your job. It's not my job to find the best sound. But I've never had an issue with the sound at Terminal 5, except when I was 1 foot away from Jay Mascis back in 2009, when it was the Meat Puppets were the first band. They went on at 7:30. This is how fucking old school this is. I went to see the Meat Puppets. Dinosaur Jr. was in the middle, and Built to Spill was headlining. I left after Dinosaur Jr. not because I hadn't heard of Built to Spill. I would have given them I got no issues with Built to Spill, but I had an early class the next morning. It was back before they kicked me out of college. So yeah, I've never had any issues with the sound of Terminal 5. I love going there. People don't like it. I don't like where it is, but I adore the sound there. Speaking of venues and renovations and closings, I was watching New York Knicks preseason basketball yesterday, and they're showing Madison Square Garden, the newly renovated Madison Square Garden. Fuck Madison Square Garden. Burn it down. Actually, they're not burning it down, but it will be the post office in 10 years. Because they're evicting James Dolan. James Dolan is the guy who owns the Knicks, he owns the Rangers, he owns Madison Square Garden, and he owns Cablevision, which is the cable provider, a cable provider here in New York City and across the country, I believe. And James Dolan's the biggest dick in the world. Him and Cablevision single-handedly made sure that the Jets couldn't get the stadium in the west side of Manhattan. Paid for so many ads to make sure that they don't have that stadium there. Now the city voted to evict your ass. I think 9-1 or something the vote was. So I can't wait till they renovate Penn Station and the Garden has to move. James Dolan's a piece of shit. His teams suck. You know how long I've been putting up with the Knicks? I know the Knicks were in the playoffs. I know the Knicks have Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony may be a superstar, but whatever list you put him on of superstars, he is at the bottom of that list. He is a crybaby. He is a chunky bastard, this guy. This fat fuck. What do you... Get in shape, bro. LeBron James is built like a brick shithouse. You look like fucking... You've had one too many Malamars. I read a quote that said Carmelo Anthony said he's opting out of his contract because, quote, every NBA player dreams of becoming a free agent. Don't they dream of, like, winning championships? So I've got an owner, the guy who owns my favorite basketball team, the Knicks, and my favorite hockey team, the Rangers, is hell-bent on making sure that those teams don't get enough talent where they could win another championship. Or win a championship in my lifetime. At least I've seen a Rangers Stanley Cup. You think I'm ever seeing a Knicks NBA title? Not going to happen. Jets Super Bowl? Not going to happen. But now, see, this is what James Dolan did. James Dolan blocked the Jets from having the West Side Stadium. If there was a football stadium next to the Javits Center on the west side of Manhattan, and you have that, and you have Madison Square Garden, then New York City can make a legitimate bid for the Olympics. But you can't now. And now that the Jets couldn't have that stadium on the west side of Manhattan, they had to split a stadium with the Giants. Now, for 30 years at Giant Stadium, the Jets were tenants. The Jets used to play at Shea Stadium in Queens before they moved into Giant Stadium at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Now the Jets were tenants, and it was always Giant Stadium, and the Jets played there. And I always used to have to hear that the Jets can't get their own stadium. My whole life. And then the Jets finally get the opportunity to get a new stadium, and they go halves with the Giants on it? I understand it's 8 games a year. But now you have millions of people, billions of people, who don't know that the Jets aren't tenants anymore. They don't know the Jets own half of that stadium. And it's the ugliest thing in the world. And this idea that there's a Super Bowl coming to New York, when? The stadium's in New Jersey. I hate to sound like that fat fuck Chris Christie, who I will vote against if he runs for president. That fat fuck Chris Christie complained, why are they saying it's a New York Super Bowl, it's a New Jersey Super Bowl? He's right. Why are all the media outlets going to spend the week in Times Square and then they're going to go play the game in New Jersey? Why are those teams called the New York Jets and the New York Giants if they play in New Jersey? Do the Chicago Bears play in Wisconsin? Do the Oakland Raiders play in San Francisco? Yeah, I mean, not even that. At least that's the same state. And it's not like that's right over the bridge. It's not like that's right there. It'd take you a good hour anywhere from New York. Anywhere in New York, it'd take you a good hour to get to East Rutherford, New Jersey. I was about to call it Giant Stadium again. What is it, MetLife? MetLife, yeah. Sure. So, that's why fuck James Dolan. That's only one of his many tragedies that he's one of his many crimes he's committed as owner of Madison Square Garden, the Knicks, and the Rangers, and Cablevision. So as soon as they get rid of Madison Square Garden, as soon as they renovate Penn Station, imagine how crazy Penn Station is that they need to take over the entire Madison Square Garden. I mean, that's insane. So yeah, that's a venue that can go. Dump it. I enjoyed seeing shows there. I don't mind seeing shows there. It's when I go see my sports teams play there where I get hurt. So we got that. Halloween. So what are you being for Halloween? Are you being something interesting? Tweet at me, at JPorks. Or Instagram it at me, for those less witty. For those who can't think of... Instagram, for those who can't think of 140 witty characters. You know, that's really what it is. But if you have a cool costume, tweet it at me, Instagram it at me. If you're a chick, and you have a slutty costume, please Instagram it, tweet it at me, tag me in it. I will retweet the best ones. I will share them in the... Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll share them in the notes that I share weekly with the podcast at jporksmusic.blogspot.com. I'll put the best ones up there. I need to interact with some people. Also, if you like fish, and I got something wrong, and you think I misrepresented your favorite band, please tweet at me, and I will correct myself. I know you guys are just sick of hearing possum. And backwards down the number line. So, Halloween costumes. Your favorite. Even also, tweet at me shows you've seen on Halloween. Even if they sucked. Let me know. I just want to talk to people about their live concert experiences. And if you're going to Violent Femmes at Roseland Ballroom, get there really early and get in the front. Because it's going to suck. The show is going to be great, but the venue's a dump. And I don't think the Violent Femmes is really a crowd surf type show. And that's a crowd surf type venue. Not crowd surf, but like, bang into each other. Because there's no fucking room and everyone's trying to squeeze in. I don't see the Violent Femmes. I don't know. I'll have to see some video from it. So I'm glad they're closing that place down. I'm glad New York City evicted Cablevision and the Knicks and the Rangers from Madison Square Garden and they're getting them out of there. Good for them. Fuck them. Buy Cage the Elephant, Mellophobia. Sorry. Mellophobia. Buy Arctic Monkeys AM. Go to concertconfessions.com. Live music news and reviews. For fans, by fans. Go to anniequiet.com. Because they're cool and they got tons of new new music news, new stuff coming at you every day from different people from all over the world. Literally, all over the world. You go to the Funyun and see what I'm talking about. They are hilarious. Go to themeatpuppets.com. Go to themeatpuppets.com/tour and check them out this November. They're actually playing a Halloween show. I want to say Flagstaff so bad, but I know that I know I'm gonna get it wrong. So I will look it up. Bear with me with the URL check really quick. Even though I put them on the website, Flagstaff. Is that Arizona? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, Flagstaff. Anyway, they're playing a Halloween show. It's actually Night of the Living Fest. A couple other bands playing with them. You go to that. You get at me at JPorks. You be my friend on Twitter because I need new people in my life. I love all the people I've met on the internet, and I want to keep that going. Anybody I've met offline is awesome people. I mean, I say this all the time. I've got couches to crash on all over the country. Just none of them are in Staten Island. Weird. So, just remember, folks, before you eat the candy, go home and check it out. Because my grandmother always used to tell me that people poison candy to kill people. Which I never got, because the killer gets no joy out of it. The killer doesn't get to see his victim die. So how is that even joyful? But whatever. Don't eat all the candy. Check it out. Give some to some less fortunate kids. Don't egg any nice cause. Only egg the houses of evil teachers you hate. I used to get egged all the time. Because I'm not tough, but it's not because not because of anything I do. I don't fight. I don't like to fight. I don't like to fight because I'm grown up now, but I didn't like to fight when I was in 7th grade either. Unlike the older kids always used to throw eggs at me and shit, because they know I wouldn't do anything. I don't know. That pissed me off. This kid DJ really got me mad once. I mean, he's a nice kid. I'm friends with everybody who's ever thrown an egg at me now, but back in the day I used to hate getting hit with eggs. We used to throw eggs at the buses passing by, but I was a terrible, terrible youth. And listen, if there's any shows I need to be checking out before the year ends, let me know, because I am always trying to get my numbers up on amount of shows I've seen in a year. And not having any concert tickets purchased right now is a weird feeling for me. I'm looking over at my basket over there. I have a basket where I keep all the tickets, all the envelopes with the tickets. And to not have anything there is really weird, and it breaks my heart. And after I pay my Sprint bill, I should have enough money to buy tickets to a show. So I would love to see one. Suggest some to me. Get me on Facebook. Be my friend. Listen, we only got a couple months till tax season, right? I'm bound to get some free money. So, I say to you folks, whiskey, weed, Warren Zeba. Late. Happy Halloween.
This has been the J Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.